It's the Brewskee-Ball Show. Anything goes. Talking about all the highs and the lows. It's the Brewskee-Ball Show. Let the good times roll. The Brewskee-Ball Show. Hello and welcome to the Brewskee-Ball Show. And welcome to the first episode of the Brewskee-Ball Conversation. The Brewskee-Ball Conversation is your opportunity to get outside the lanes and take a look into the lives of some of your favorite Brewskee-Ballers. Past, present, perhaps take a look into the life of one of your favorite ski-lebrities. It is my distinct honor to welcome to the first ever Brewskee-Ball Conversation a former ski mate of mine and a beloved friend, Clifford Dank.
Really a pleasure to be here.
Thank you for being here.
Thanks so much for having me.
You're welcome. This is a relic. That is the first ever Brewskee mug. Go ahead.
It's too early, is it?
It's too early in the show for that. Let's do that
Maybe
later.
a little later?
Sure.
Something to keep them watching?
Sure. That's the first ever Brewskee mug, which he won more than 2 years ago now, back in Skeeson 1. He played, of course, for the now legendary team, the Amigos,
yes.
Which I was lucky to be a part of, along with our other ski mate who couldn't make it today, Matt Lobron.
This league now, Skeeson 8, is it now?
Skeeson 9.
Skeeson 9?
Yeah.
These young kids, they come in here, they talk about cherries. Mm-hmm. What's a cherry?
Yeah, that's before your time.
I
Or after your time.
I went to skee-ball a couple weeks ago, and everyone was talking about cherries.
Yeah.
Well, what's a cherry?
The kids like the fruit.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a fruity people.
A cherry is actually a combination, any combination of all 40s and all 50s. Back in the day, we didn't even have a full circle.
When we started playing skee-ball in 2006, we talked about maybe full circles toward the end of Skeeson 1 and early Skeeson 2.
Yeah, a lot of the terms, a lot of the vocabulary that we use today didn't exist when you were a roller.
I'll tell you something, the first time that I even tried to roll a full circle, they almost had to carry me away on a stretcher. And not because of the anxiety, but because I didn't get it and I actually punched a brick wall right next to
That's
the
right.
red
That's
line.
right. And I believe you busted a knuckle.
Yeah, I did bust a knuckle. I know people since me, in the 7, 8 now, Skeesons
9 Skeesons
that have followed.
Oh, the 8 Skeesons that followed, yeah.
They occasionally punch the wall, but I think I invented the wall punch.
Back in the day, when 27s were considered to be god status, you were a high roller if you rolled a 27 or 28. Yeah. 30 was almost unthinkable in Skeeson 1.
Oh yeah, I mean, you got a 30, you were like the Ezra Sutton of skee-ball, who was the first Major League Baseball player ever to hit a home run back in the 1800s. But now, not only has the scoring changed, but I think the ethos has changed. It's improved. You see a lot more people who are engaged when they're not rolling. You see a lot more teamwork, and this is when I was at Skeeson 9 a couple weeks ago. Just what I was seeing, and just overall, just more commitment to showing up and being on time and having team strategy, and it's really a very comprehensive league now, and it's really impressive. I think you guys have done a great job.
You haven't been in New York City for a couple years. Can you talk about what you've done since Skeeson 1? For those of you out there, Cliff Dank only played 1 Skeeson of Brewskee-Ball. He won the first ever Brewskee mug, and he hasn't played since. So just tell the folks out there where you been.
I figured I'd sit out for a couple years until there was some money involved.
Okay.
I'm kind of a bottom line guy like that.
But you didn't play in Skeeson 1 for the money. You played for the mug.
For the love.
For the mug.
For the love of the mug.
Love of the mug. I like that.
Yeah. But I went to get my MBA at Berkeley, and so I was in California for 2 years. And I came back and I saw little tidbits here and there of the Skeesons between Skeeson 1 and Skeeson 9.
Right.
And looking forward to being a part of Skeeson 10 now that I'm back in the city.
Are you going to play in Skeeson 10?
Yeah, but I've been doing a lot of yoga. And
Okay.
I feel like the ceiling for me has risen a little bit from back when I used to play. And I feel like I'm ready to come back now. Although
Wow.
I'm not going to lie, I'm a little bit intimidated. We didn't know if a 700 was good, or if an 800 was good, or if a 1500 was possible. These kids are good.
Yes.
They're really good, and they practice a lot too. I mean,
Yes.
you go there on an off night, packed. Lanes are packed at Ace Bar.
Yeah.
I love it. I think back to Skeeson 1. In Skeeson 1, I don't think think I was awesome in terms of numbers.
No, your stats were not great.
Don't say that on the camera. But
your stats were not
I was
great.
27-ish. 27 and a half, I think I
fought
was.
for 27,
I
yeah.
fought
Yeah.
for 27.
So, Cliff, as you know, the Brewski mug is Brewskee-Ball's version of the Stanley Cup. Since you won the first ever Brewski mug in Skeeson 1, there have been 8 champions. What do you think about champions like Fabio and skee-ball, the defending champs?
Yeah.
What do you think about teams like Skichiro, who won the Brewski mug back-to-back years? How do you think you'd stack up to these teams? And what do you think the difference are between those champions and your champion club?
It's tough. You're talking about comparing, Babe Ruth with Alex Rodriguez, and it's a different game.
Right.
These guys have, and girls, have strategy. They go in there with a plan, and they execute it. They stay true to it. I think the 2006 Skeeson 1 teams were a lot more just adrenaline. We went for what was fun. We went for, what we thought we needed. We didn't take the time to, calculate. Not that they do now, but they don't have to because they have precedent. They know what often wins. They know what's usually good enough to get them there, what average they have to consistently hit. And we were just cowboys, So I don't know. I don't want to not answer the question, but I think it's apples and oranges.
No, it's always difficult in sport to compare generations.
Right.
Not that these are generations. We're talking 2006, 2008.
Relative. It's relative.
It is all relative.
I don't want to be too technical for the viewers that don't know skee-ball that well now, but I'm guessing, especially for these early shows, there's going to be a lot of diehards watching that are going to know exactly what I'm talking about when I refer to the fact that we wanted a limited downside, right? So if you go for the 40 and you miss short, you get the 30. You go for the 40 and you're a little bit strong, you get the 50. And if you're right on, then you go in for a full circle. And full circle was so far better than anyone else at that point in time that we figured we couldn't lose. I mean, even if we missed 6 or 7 short, you got a bunch of 30s in there. I mean, you're
A full
fine.
circle, but a full circle actually wasn't invented until Skeeson 2.
We didn't know what it was. We just knew that the number
We just knew-
360
right.
was a big deal.
Right.
We hadn't coined it yet.
Right.
We understood that. I think by the middle of Skeeson 1, we started to understand the theory of the game.
That 940s was unbeatable.
And these people were going for hundos and missing by a lot. And even when they missed by just a tiny bit, they were getting 10.
Right.
Or if they had a big ricochet, they sometimes ended up with 0. And we never had less than 20 on any roll. We just made sure of it. And that matters, So that was the theory at the time. There's a really nice dichotomy to skee-ball for me personally, which was fortifying existing friendships and building new friendships. So you've got 3 levels. You've got the people that you already knew that you come to skee-ball with and you strengthen your friendships with. You have the people that you were acquaintances with that you now become friends with. And you have people you never met before that suddenly you have this bond with because you've shared this awesome thing week in and week out, which is nice because it's consistent. You're going to see each other every week. So we had me, you, and Matt who had known each other for 16 years. I mean, you can't put a price on that. That was really cool to get back together because we hadn't spent time as a group in a while. And then I got guys like Will and the Professor that I kind of knew.
Will the banker.
Will and the Professor.
I'm just Will the banker for
Will
everyone.
the Banker.
Ski Patrol guys.
Yeah, I give Will credit for persevering. He got a lot of slack for being the banker at the beginning because it was mostly just bank, and then that was it,
Yeah.
But he stayed true to that. But guys like that and that crew, who I was kind of acquaintances with, friends with, became really close with, and then all the new people that I met that I never met before, and forged brand new friendships with, and not to mention the fact that I had a girlfriend at the time that I still have, which is great. But I saw so many singles meet each other. I mean, there's so many single people that are there and socializing. It's great.
It happened 2 years ago. Cliff Dank of the Ski Amigos chugged from the first ever Brewski mug. It's going to happen right now for all of you out there who weren't there to see it that night. Chug, 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 chug. You gonna say it a little bit for me? I'm your teammate. Oh man.
Saved you the head.
I was gonna chug too.
I saved you the head.
One of the pioneers of Brewskee-Ball, the first ever, one of the first ever Brewski Mug champions, Cliff Dank. He's actually back in New York City. He's going to be around in the off-season. He's going to be at the BMT. He's going to be at Championship Sunday. If you see him around, if you see the guy in the pink tie,
Brewskee-Ball, get in my face, and we'll have some fun.
Let the good times roll, the Brewskee-Ball Show.